And I want you to take a look at this side of my hair in comparison to this side of my hair. This side of my hair looked like that side of my hair this morning. And this is where it's at this point in the day, which I wanted to show you because it really is quite indicative of how I'm feeling at this particular moment about this particular Friday. Well, good afternoon or early evening. It's 4:58 and I am leaving my school. And yep, it's the first time I've had a chance to talk to you guys. I got to school this morning at like 6:30 and have been on the go since then. I got up early because I did not sleep well last night because I had so many things on my mind that I was thinking about that I couldn't get into a deep sleep. So I just went ahead and got out of the bed at 4:30. Plus, I had to stop and buy some donuts because I got booed on Friday. So I'm sure some of you have heard of that, but on Friday there was a random knock at my door, and the student whose job is to open the door opened it and said, you know, there's nobody here. And then a couple of kids looked outside and found 2.5 dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts outside with a little note on it, and then the class was excited and they were like, we got booed, which I didn't know what they were talking about initially, and then when they explained it I remembered what getting booed meant. So I had to return the favor, so I had to go buy some donut holes, and the person that I booed, I know watches my vlog, so as soon as she sees this she'll know that I booed her. So Melissa, you've been booed by Miss Robinson's class. But so I got them like some donut holes because that was all I could do, and I didn't necessarily want to give the little kids in her class a full donut because she teaches preschool at my school. But even me getting the donuts was a contentious process because the people at the donut shop first they were putting all these donut holes in these little tiny bags. So then I said, can I have a box? And they told me I couldn't have a box. And I thought it was because they didn't have boxes. But then I looked and saw donut boxes stacked floor to ceiling in the corner. So then I said, well, can I buy a box? And then they very rudely said, we don't sell boxes. I don't sell boxes, sorry. So I was irritated because I needed those donut holes to be in a box so that I can attach my cute little "You've been booed" sign to the box, but they just refused to do that. Then I tried to use my ATM card. They were going to charge me some insane fee for doing that because I was only spending $3. And by that point, I had to just calm myself down and tell myself that 6:30 in the morning is much too early for you to like lose it on somebody in a donut shop. So I took my donut holes and the little bags that they thought was sufficient for me. Then I stopped at Starbucks to get a coffee because I knew that I was going to want that because I had not gotten very much sleep. I went to bed at 11 o'clock last night and woke up at 4:30, which I do not do. So I got coffee against my better judgment because I had a ton of coffee yesterday. But then I got to work and I just kind of had to like get to it. And I have anxiety, and I think it's just I feel like there's a lot of loose ends that I need to tie up. I don't even know if that's true, but that's just how I feel. It's like right now I feel the anxiety in my stomach. But I've decided to do what I needed to do at school, and now I'm headed home to walk Genesis. I have to cook a meal, and the rest of the stuff that I need to do, I can do from the comfort of my living room. So right now, I am getting some garlic bread from Stater Brothers, which is a grocery store out here, to go with this pasta dish that I'm making with Blue Apron. And I was going to try and be good and not have bread to go with this dish, but I decided I want bread to go with the dish, and that's what I'm going to have. Last week I ate a bunch of junk because last week was just extremely hectic with me having a meeting almost every day. One night I was at school until 8 o'clock, after 8 actually, and so last week I just ate a lot of takeout or fast food, and it was just a mess. So this weekend I felt very bloated, so I said I wasn't gonna have bread today, but as you can see, I have changed my mind. So I'm going into the grocery store to get that garlic bread. Then I'm gonna go home, get Genesis on her walk. I'm gonna cook dinner. Then I have to take care of some personal stuff, and then I need to finish lesson planning for guided reading. I did my first full guided reading group today, and it was one of my lower reading groups, and it was brutal. Like our building background section where you're just kind of introducing the book and giving the kids some information they need to know to kind of access the book that you've chosen, should only take a few minutes, and it took the entire portion of time that I had allotted for that group, which was well over 20 minutes, and they were just unattentive, not paying attention, and I kind of had to let them know, guys, you're back here because I need to really work with you to read, because right now you're reading behind grade level, so I need your full and undivided attention. So all we did was building background today, and we're going to finish reading, or at least start reading the story tomorrow. So I need to finish planning the rest of the groups I would like to see for the rest of the week, but we'll see how that goes. As far as how the kids responded to my hair, they loved it. One girl thought I looked like the Little Mermaid, which I thought was cute. I hadn't thought of that. And they just all wanted to know how I got my hair to grow so long so fast. So I told them that I took my vitamins over the weekend, and I said a special prayer so that my hair would grow, and here it is. So anyway, I'm going to go in the store. I'm going to get the stuff that I need, and I will try and check in with you guys before I go to bed. So see you then. All right, it's 6:45. This is what I'm getting ready to make for dinner. Penne pasta beef bolognese. It's supposed to take 30 minutes. Here are all the ingredients that come with it. And the nutrition facts say that this will be 850 calories once it's prepared. I'm watching Claire Marshall on YouTube while I cook. And then I'm going to be having it with this bread that I got from Stater Brothers. That's really good. Since I didn't do much recording today, I thought I'd record myself cooking a meal because I haven't done that in a while. I also forgot to mention that we did not have school yesterday, so I did not vlog on Monday. So I'm going to put you down. I'm going to get started with my dinner, and I will show you the finished product. Good morning. It is 10:28. I really need to get myself a tripod. My kids are at recess for another 2 minutes, and I'm just checking in. I am in the process of trying to finish my breakfast. I've been working on this for 2.5 hours now. And that's that. So today, what I meant to mention yesterday is I am having the struggle with, how do I want to explain it? Yesterday, we had to review for the math test that I'm giving them today, and I have all of a minute to go through this. And the review of the math test took all day, pretty much. We did the even problems together. They did the odd problems for homework, and we used Go Math. And the Go Math tests are pretty long. I am still giving the paper and pencil test because I like to write on the test and give them feedback. And so all day yesterday, I was having this debate of, do I complete the review that I wanted to do so that they're prepared as well as I can prepare them for the test tomorrow? Or do at some point, do I need to stop because we need to kind of wrap things up with Wonders? I chose to continue to review the test because I felt like that was more critical, and that put me behind in Wonders. And so I'm really trying to stay committed to doing Wonders better this year than I did last year, which means pulling groups on a regular basis. And this current this current learning block that we're on, this is my 4th week working on it. Sounds really bad, but we lost a lot of learning time in October. 1 week was parent conference week, so it was minimum day. And I don't know if I said this already. I think I did yesterday. The internet was down yesterday. We have Dan the Science Man coming today, which is gonna take away an hour, more than an hour. Plus every week we have PE. And something else happened. I just can't remember. We had an assembly that was whole school that was an hour and, not an hour and a half, but a little over an hour. But all in all, I'm just saying there was just been so many things that have happened in October that has slowed everything down. So today, I've decided that no matter what, I'm gonna test them on this particular learning block this Friday and hope that between now and then I get my groups done. I'm almost done. So today, while I am pulling guided reading groups, I have the kids starting to plan out the writing portion of the test that they're going to be taking on Friday. So they take the test through Connect Ed. The test is going to ask them multiple choice questions that goes over the skills of the week, and then it always has like a short response question that they have to type out. So I have decided to give them the passage on paper ahead of time, give them a planning page, and I'm giving them time to read the passages and just plan out what they're gonna say so that they feel a little bit more prepared on Friday, and that the test hopefully will go a little bit quicker. So it's time for me to pick up the kids, so I'm gonna go get them. We're gonna come back in. They're gonna start their math test, and hopefully between the math test and Dan the Science Man today, I get time to pull some groups, give them more time to plan, and then we can go from there. But there is just not enough time in the day, and I know I said this all the time last year, and it's like every year I'm just surprised at how quickly your time goes and how much you have to try and get done in a very short period of time. So that's my check-in right now. Later on today after school, I have school site council. I totally forgot that I was on school site council this year, so that is another committee that I'm on. I'm not too bothered because I'm kind of looking forward to this meeting because I've never been on school site council, and one of the superintendents that I spoke to last year suggested that I participate in school site council if I think I want to go into administration, because she just thought it would be a very valuable experience. So I signed up to be on school site council. So anyway, I'm gonna pick up my kids. I had to get Starbucks today because it was a double star day. I hope you guys got yours. I will try my hardest to check in soon. So I'll see you when I see you.
I'm gonna get scared.
Alright, let's see how far this guy goes. This is called a heat exchange. The water's getting colder, the dry ice is getting warmer, and then it's gonna blast off.
That was perfect. It was like
like I never left, but it is now 3:05 and I have 10 minutes before I have to get to the school site council meeting, which is obviously here on campus. I want to check in really quick because I'm getting ready to send Liza a very special treat. Before that, we basically today went to PE, went over any last minute questions for the math test, took the math test, and then went to see Dan the Science Man, and that was it. We didn't get to any wonders. I did a little bit of a guided reading group, but we didn't get very far with that. They loved this Dan the Science Man. He was very good, but he was definitely a scientist, if you know what I mean. But they enjoyed it. They made rockets out of soda bottles, and they used dry ice and water. He obviously handled the dry ice, and they tried to construct or put enough water in their water bottles to get their rocket to go the furthest. So they had a good time, but we didn't get through much. They did start planning their short answer response to their wonders, so I do feel like I got a little bit accomplished. But before I run out of time, I want to show you this great little gift that I'm getting ready to send Liza. I really hope that she likes it. So over a week ago, I ordered a shirt from Amazon that says something along the lines of, I'm really a fox and this is my human costume. And I thought, oh, that's cute. Since we're the foxes, I can wear that on Halloween. And that's how I'll be festive on Halloween. And so I ordered it, and I got my package on the day that I was supposed to get it. And I got all excited because I was excited about this shirt. And I opened the package, and this is what came in the mail instead. So I'm gonna just show you the shirt. This is what came. And if you didn't get a chance to read it, this is what the shirt says. It says, I am not a perfect man. That's problem number one. So I knew something was wrong. I am not a perfect man. I love freedom, drink beer. I was born in April. I protect my family. I have tattoos. I own guns. If you don't like it, move. If you know me, which those of you that have been watching me for a while, then you know this is the most inappropriate shirt for me. None of this, with the exception of the fact that I do love freedom. I do have a tattoo. Everything else on this shirt does not apply to me, and it feels like I have no business even touching a shirt with these things on it because it's so far from who I am. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna send this to Liza just as a little gift. Maybe she'll find some use for it. So I'm gonna put this in the district mail just as a little surprise to brighten her morning tomorrow, along with just a lovely picture of me. This is my school picture for the school year, and I'm sure she's gonna enjoy it. Liza, if you're watching this, please be sure to comment in the comment section and tell us how much you love this little gift that I'm going to be sending your way. I'm sure she'll love it. So I just need to package this up nice and tight so that it gets to her safely, and then I'm gonna head off to my school site council meeting. I'm gonna try and eat a little snack before I go. After that, I need to come in, get the room set up for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go home and do stuff I need to do at home. So I'll let you guys know. Well, I don't need to let you know, because if Liza's watching this, she's gonna let you know how much she enjoys this, but it's in the mail, Liza. So I'm gonna eat my snack and then head to this meeting, and maybe I'll check in with you when I get back from that. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hi, it's 3:51, and I'm supposed to be at home right now. You guys, I am so tired today. Like, I've been so sleepy that I've said out loud countless times, I'm sleepy. And I'm not sure why. I went to bed at about 10 o'clock last night, and I woke up at 5:30, so I got a solid 7 hours of sleep. So it's not that I'm sleep deprived. I had a cup of coffee this morning for breakfast. I took my vitamins, and for whatever reason, none of that is making much of any difference. So what I was hoping to do was to leave right at 3:15 today, which is the time that I can leave. But then at the end of school, my name was called on the intercom system, and I had to go to the office. And when I was there, I found out that we had an issue with our permission slips for our field trip that needed to be fixed because it's a legal issue. And somehow, in the midst of me preparing all this field trip stuff, when I typed up the permission slips, which are right here, I put the wrong date on them. and that can't happen. Like the secretary said, we have to have it fixed. It's a legal issue. So she was saying we can either have the parents, you can send them back home with the parents and have them put in the correct date and initial it. And I just chose just to be on the safe side, because that's a lot of trusting for me to do. It's a lot for me to trust that the child is going to get the permission slip back home, and that the parent is going to know exactly what I need them to do and where I need them to do it, and then that the permission slip is going to come back. I said it would just be easier, I think, if I reprinted the permission slip and resent them out, since I only got a few back at this point, and the parents have until November the 7th to turn them in. So we still have plenty of time. We're not in some sort of time crunch. So I just sent out a text to my parents apologizing for the inconvenience, but basically saying, you know, there's an error on the permission slip. I'm going to resend them out. Please sign them. And I have one parent that wants to know if she can just initial it and send it back. And I'm telling her she can do that, but I just, you know, tried to make sure she knew that it was a legal issue, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, you know, we'll see what she does. But again, I didn't get that many back. I think just logistically, it's better just to resend them out. As far as that, I did have, today was rough. I think it was just rough, not because I was tired, because I didn't get here feeling tired. That tiredness just crept upon me all of a sudden. But my morning got off to a bumpy start because I had a parent that wanted to, she said that she had a quick question, but she ended up having a few questions, and then me talking to her in the morning kind of got me thrown off of my morning routine as well as the kids. And then we had to still finish up our math test from yesterday, because we had to stop even though the kids weren't done, because we had to go see Dan the science man. And so that threw everything off, which means I didn't get to pull a guided reading group, and there was a lot of sitting around waiting for kids to finish. But I tried to turn things around by the end of the day, and I think I did. And I talked to my class because I was a little bit frustrated with some of them because they took their test, and what I told them to do is if they finish their math test, they're going to continue to work on planning their paragraph for their Wonders assessment tomorrow, where they have to give a short answer response, because I really want the kids to get in the habit of planning what they're going to say before, or planning what they're going to write, I should say, before they write it. And was very clear about that yesterday. Like, you're going to need to plan. Like, I'm going to collect this paper to take as proof that you planned your paragraph. And I would walk around and kids were just writing these paragraphs with no plan in place. The planning page that I gave them was completely blank, and they were just writing and writing and writing. And I had told them in my explanation, there's nobody in this classroom, including me, that should be writing a paragraph in response to this prompt without having a plan. But that didn't really seem to matter to some of them. One kid finished his very early, much earlier than what is reasonable. So of course I asked to see his paragraph, and his paragraph at first wasn't even answering the question that he was asked. I told him to go back and work on it. Then he brought it back, and the second time he was referencing people in this paragraph that were not even mentioned, or topics that were not even mentioned in the passages that he was supposed to be responding to. So I said, go take it back. Then he worked on it some more, and by the third time he brought it back for me to look at it. And at that point I said, I'm not going to look at it anymore. You now need to sit down and really ask yourself, did I really answer this question to the best of my ability, and trust yourself from there? Because at the end of the day, this was really a test. So the amount of assistance and redirection I gave him was not even required, and to some extent feel like it's not fair that I did that for him because no other kid got it. But I wanted him to understand, like, what you think you've done is, or what you've done is actually incorrect. And he's a bright kid, so he was just rushing because he wanted to read his book, I think. So I had to tell him, this is a test. That book is not a test right now. So after that, I talked to the class as a whole and just kind of reiterate, I know that they're young, guys. I know that they're in 3rd grade, but I really do believe kids understand a lot of what we don't think they can understand. So I do believe that they are old enough to understand that you need to put 100% of your effort into things 100% of the time. So I've said that to them quite a few times and really explained to them that, you know, I understand that some of the things that you have to do feel very challenging, feel very tough. You may not want to do it, but that is a part of learning. And when something's hard, that is just a part of the process of learning. And just kind of gave them the speech of, like, you got to know when you're turning in something or doing something, you should always feel or know that you have really put your best foot forward. And so we talked about that, and they seemed pretty receptive to it. And then we went from there. We finally, for the most part, most of us got these flip books finished. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be honest. I love the end result of a flip book. I've only made a couple flip books in my life. I can't stand the process of putting them together because there are just pieces everywhere. And some kids are not good with keeping track of their pieces. And just getting them to glue things down correctly it was a lot. And it's a mess in the room while this is all happening, like papers flying everywhere, and I'm kind of a neat freak, so the fact that all that's happening is a bit much. So these are what they end up looking like, and my friend Michelle shared this with me. So it's just the different physical features, and I'm going to turn this around but try and cover the name at the same time. So this is the front. It just says My Geography Lap Book. It talks about longitude and latitude so they can see what that looks like. There's vocabulary terms, and they're related to geography. So grid map is one of them. Let's see if I turn this way. Natural resources, so there's just vocabulary in there. And then when you open it, it shows them this. So it just shows them you go from galaxy. Oh, let's see what I'm talking about? Oh, this student didn't follow directions. This whole thing is glued down. This talks about how you go from a galaxy to planet to continent, country, state, town, address, and so on. These are some other landforms that they have pictures of. So mountain, island, desert, hill, peninsula, valley, coast. And then over here, they have different bodies of water: ocean, a bay, a lake, a river. Then they have like a world map. These are numbered, and then underneath it tells them, his is upside down, it tells them what part of the map each of those numbers correlate to. Then they have a compass rose, and they have cardinal directions, and then they have northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, western hemisphere, and eastern hemisphere. So most kids have that done. There's still some kids that don't have it done, and I told them, as of today, I'm done giving class time for it, so it's going to be their responsibility to get it completed and all turned in, because we have to move on with our lives in this classroom. So I'm going to try and get those hung up. What else? Nothing much else. I don't know if I told you guys, but as of yesterday, my mom is officially working at this school as a proctor at lunch time, I think is what she covers. So she's out there watching the kids, helping to keep them in line. So as I said, I'm super tired, so I'm about to pack my things up. I'm gonna go home. I am supposed to cook tonight. I really don't feel like it. I really just want to go to sleep, but I'm gonna try and be good and cook. I was just thinking if I cancel my Blue Apron shipment for next week, because I'm kind of backed up. So that's what I'm about to do. And I don't really have anything else to say right now. Maybe I'll check in with you when I get home. But all in all, this week is going well. I am tired. Oh, and I just had to make an executive decision with Wonders for the week, because we got to move on. I did not get to meet with any groups today to finish up the reader. We were reading a very small reader on Ben Franklin. And I will show it to you. I am on Unit 1, Week 4. So they each had a reader that's leveled. This one is Ben Franklin. And they just kind of read about Ben Franklin. Obviously, we studied biographies. And so they learned that it was a biography, and our comprehension skill is cause and effect. So throughout the reader, they are talking about different causes for some of the inventions that Ben Franklin had, and then what were the effects of some of those. So there were 3 chapters in each of the readers. They're all leveled for ability, but the topic is the same, and they pretty much have the same content. It's just some have a little bit more than others, depending on the text complexity. And so each group had read chapters 1 and 2, and I discussed chapters 1 and 2 with them in a small group. But today I just decided to read chapter 3 to them, from the On Level book, because that's the one that's right in the middle. We talked about the cause and effect situations in that chapter, and that's what we're gonna have to, that's how we're gonna have to end it, because I do have to just kind of move on. So tomorrow they are going to take the test. My fingers are really crossed. This block of study has been stretched out for way longer than what it was intended. We've talked about cause and effect. I've read them stories about cause and effect. We did this cute little activity with Alexander and the No Good, what is the name of that book? Alexander and His Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. So that is how that turned out. We did that. I've read them some picture books. I read them the stories from Wonders. Anytime I read something to them and I myself found a cause and effect relationship, I asked them about it. So you guys keep your fingers crossed for me that they do well, because the first one that they took, it didn't go very well. So I'm gonna finish cleaning up. I'm gonna head home, and we'll see what happens from there. If I don't see you today, you know I will see you tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Hey guys. I'm not sure what time it is. It's 5:10. And I think I feel like I have to tell you what time it is every time I check in. And I want you to take a look at this side of my hair in comparison to this side of my hair. This side of my hair looked like that side of my hair this morning. And this is where it's at this point in the day, which I wanted to show you because it really is quite indicative of how I'm feeling at this particular moment about this particular Friday. So I just finished doing like an Insta story about my week, because I've been doing those on occasion in case I don't get a vlog up, so that those of you that watch the vlog still feel like you have some sense of how my week has gone or what I'm up to as a teacher. And what I said in that vlog or that clip was, no, not vlog or clip. What I said in that Insta story is that as much as I love Fridays, there is a part of me that is now beginning to resent Fridays, because Fridays just always end up being, in my opinion, very unproductive teaching days, because they have, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, they have PE and library all in the same day. And what I basically get done on most Fridays is I check their homework, we go over their homework, I might get a half of a math lesson in there, and talk about growth mindset if I'm lucky. But none of that happened today. I basically got them to PE, got them to the library, they had recess, they had lunch, we corrected their homework from the night before, and they spent a huge chunk of their time taking a Wonders test online. And that took a long time, A, because they just always take a long time on those tests, and B, because there were all these technical difficulties that were making things difficult for them. So, I'm trying to make it so that there's not a glare on my glasses, but it's hard. So by the time the afternoon came, by the time lunch came, I was really quite over with the day. Like, I was frustrated. My patience was short, I think, because I was frustrated with what was not happening during the day. And the kids were a little more squirrely or squirmy, whatever you want to say, than normal, because it happened to drizzle today. And then for us here in Southern California, any semblance of rain, the kids just are beside themselves. And so when the bell rang, I knew that I was going to immediately be packing my things up, get all packed up as fast as I can, and I just wanted to go home and do the stuff that I need to do in the comfort of my own home. So I'm here. I've been home for maybe an hour or so, and I have a lot of work that I need to do. I'm just gonna do it from home because I just wanted to go home. I was so happy when the bell rang at 2:45. I've never been more happy to hear that bell, because I just was at my wits end with the day. I was over it, and I wanted the day to end. And that is how I really, really felt. So I also shared in my Insta story that in the midst of all that frustration about the day, I did have a bright spot. My mom came to work in my classroom a little bit before she had to do her proctoring duties at lunch, because she is now an official proctor at my school. And she brought me a package that one of you sent to me, and I knew her or know her as my so-called craft life on Instagram and on YouTube, I believe she goes by the same name. So again, her name is My So-Called Craft Life, and I'm sharing that with you because I'm going to show you what she sent me. You might be interested in one of your own. So her real name is, I think it's Shinkasha. I think, if I'm saying her name wrong, I'm sorry. I really am, because my name is mispronounced all the time and it's frustrating. But she sent me a gift. I knew it was coming because she had asked me about it, and she had attempted to send it a while ago, but that was right when my P.O. box was closed down because I was actually using my mom's P.O. box, and she decided she didn't want that P.O. box anymore. So I was able to stop her before she did it, and we made arrangements for me to get it a different way. And so she sent me this mug that has my name on it, and it's in my school colors, and I know that she made it because she said this took her, it was quite an arduous task, it sounds like, to get all of that in there. I'm so glad she did it though, because it came out really nice. And as you guys know, or hopefully you know, these are my school colors. So she did that, and I thought this was all that I was getting because this is what she had told me about. So I just so happened to keep looking in the package, and it was good that I did because I wasn't going to. And I found the other thing that she made me, and I just had it. And where did I put it? Maybe I'm sitting on it. Oh, here it goes. The other thing that she made me is this cute little pencil pouch that has my name on it. And I thought that was cute enough. And then I looked on the inside, and I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you, but on the inside, there's foxes in there. What a nice touch. And also in the inside were these. And on the Insta story, she told me that her goddaughter picked these out, and I just love it because they're foxes, and the foxes have glasses on it like me. So I just thought this was cute, and I really appreciated it. So if you guys are interested in that, I think you should get one from her. Again, her name on Instagram is My So-Called Craft Life. I highly recommend it. And this keeps things hot and cold, she said. So that was nice because I needed something today. And when that came, it came at the right time because I was struggling. I was really struggling quite a bit. So I don't really have much else to say. I think I wanted to mention that I'm officially done with my first class in graduate school. Shamika and I got an A on that project, and I got an A in the class. I'm sure she got an A in the class too. We are now in our second class, and this class focuses on curriculum. We are in the first week of that. And we have class tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. to noon, and we have to be online for that, and I'm not really sure what that looks like. So I might text her to see if she knows, because I need to know, do I need to get dressed for this? Do I need to look presentable or not? But that's it. I'm probably going to close out the vlog here. Hopefully I get this edited in a timely fashion so that when you're seeing it, it's not too soon after these days have passed. If not, I will get it up there for you guys eventually. But I want to thank you so much for hanging in there and being excited to see a vlog when I'm actually able to get one done. Thank you so much for all the kind words and support that you guys always give me. I know a couple of other teachers out there have said that they've had negative comments, and I honestly have never experienced anything like that. And I don't know if it's because I'm still like a little tiny baby YouTube channel. You know, I don't have tens of thousands of subscribers, but I have a solid set. I'm almost at 6,000 subscribers, which I think is significant, and I've not had nothing but positive experiences with everyone and nothing but love and support. So thank you so much, you guys, for that, especially during this year where I am just kind of all over the place. If you are new and you've never seen one of my vlogs before, I hope that you've enjoyed this one and that you consider giving this a thumbs up to share with people, and you subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. So I'm not gonna say I'll see you next week because I can't guarantee that. I never know what I'm gonna do, but I can say that I will see you guys soon. I hope all is well, and I will talk to you guys as soon as I can. In the meantime, have some great days, have some great nights, take some time for yourself, rest and relax, and I will talk to you as soon as I can. Bye guys.